We're live.
We're live.
We're live. We did it. So just like, well, I was thinking about today, and I'm so
Mhm.
excited, you guys. We're having Alicia here from Rogue Styling, and I was thinking about Alicia, uh, as you know, because we talked about this the other day, but how I really met you a couple days before we did our whole international travel, right?
Yep.
Because you and I were both helping Brooke with her wedding, but I
Mhm.
don't remember us really getting to chat that day that much.
No, we really didn't.
But then we officially met in Italy.
In Italy. Yep.
And you arrived a little bit later than usual. So it's
Mhm.
apropos that we're a little late on this live for everyone. But it all comes together because that's where I got to see all your magic come to life. So, everyone, please help me welcome Alicia from Rogue
Oh,
Styling.
thank
And
you.
I can't wait to talk to you from that moment where I first fell in love with you and everything you do to today, where our wedding and what the reason we met literally got published. I think there's no coincidence in that.
Isn't that funny how that
Yeah.
works out? Like, this is the day that worked out. This is the day we get published. It's fabulous.
It's so random. And I was looking at those images where Alicia got published. We got published on Wedding Chicks today, you guys.
Yeah, we
And we're going to dive into that. But again, ironic that it's today, but I was looking at those images and I'll post a link to that publication on Wedding Chicks. And the work that you did, Alicia, like you're just a genius. And I saw your
oh,
magic happen. You showed up from a late flight in the middle of the night.
red eye, nonstop. It was crazy.
20 hours of travel,
Mhm.
and we'd all been drinking a little bit. We'd had a couple, we'd had
I know. I missed out on all the best festivities, the pizza
we,
party, because I had a later flight than
yeah,
everybody else. So I ended up like not getting there until what, like 12 hours after everybody else or something like that.
something like that. Well, a couple days after me because I got there
Yeah.
earlier,
It was
but it didn't matter. You like were get me a glass of
hit the ground
wine.
running.
Let's do this,
I'm
and we
ready.
started this whole styling of the
Mhm.
bride and the couple. And
Yep.
David, who was there, just magical
Oh
photographer
yeah.
that we worked with,
It's
and of course
amazing.
our dear friend Brooke, who's I think she's done lives with me, um, and just put us all together. And just what a wonderful evening! And you guys, I got to see Alicia. Just your wheels were turning as we were
Mhm.
talking about all the different styles, all the
All the
different
different
looks.
angles and the different like, you don't want to always do the same thing, right? Because then it gets boring. So it's like a matter of like what look would look best with this dress, what hairstyle would fit. Because it's always, I think, comes down to the dress. The dress is like where the magic is, where you need to kind of match and vibe with everything else. Like once you have a dress, then it kind of opens up all the possibilities for like bolder makeup, softer makeup, like more whimsical hair and more sleek hair. Like there's so many different options to do things. And so like once we have the dresses out and we see what the model looks like and we kind of get the vibe of the photographer style, because that's always a huge one, because like if they're more light and bright, they're going to brighten up all the photos. So then
Yeah.
we always have to like do bolder makeup because it
Well,
won't
and
translate well.
and so yeah, and I watched all those things come into play because that's not my playground. Let's get
Yeah,
real. Like I really tried
the
3
planner.
minutes before our call today. So, it's not my realm, but really what I'm trying to say too is you're genius. Like from that moment of being like, I just got off a plane and it was all this thing to these beautiful images that were published today. I think it was 4 or 5 different looks in
Mhm.
a 24-hour period,
It
36
really
hours,
was.
right? To then having conversations with you,
Mhm.
but you don't see the magic within you. And I think that
Aw,
happens to so many of us. I know for me, where it's like, oh, but that's just what I do,
it's just
right?
normal. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. And it really fires me up as we talk into the coaching that there's all this amazingly talented people that don't realize how amazing they truly are. Cause I work with so many people and you are literally on the top, and they're just so
I
shy
appreciate
about it. And all I want to do is tell the world about them. So that's really what we did today.
it. It really is. And I'm so freaking excited about all of it. Like, I just feel like so blessed and happy that I get to meet all the people that I get to meet and work with all the people that are truly talented, like you're talking about, and just so blessed.
Yeah.
It's the best life.
Yeah. But I'm also saying, like, getting more couples to see also just how amazing
Yes,
you are, the value that you offer. Like, I think we
yes,
just, what we'll talk about is marketing
mhm,
ourselves, is that we just struggle with that, right?
we
It's
do.
within us to be able to say, no, I mean, if I could articulate, which I hopefully I've done, just
Oh, yeah.
how magical you are in the work that you do and how these 5 looks came together and you were on it. We got no sleep. Like, it was
Yeah.
certainly a very treacherous, it was not a glamorous 36, 48
No,
hours.
it wasn't. It was
Uh,
go, go, go. I think I got like 3 hours of sleep a night or something like that.
yeah. Yeah, if that. And you followed us around and followed the bride and touch-ups and you were on. And so just seeing that magic, and it's like, that's what people pay for, right? So
Yeah.
here couples are, brides are thinking, oh, it's just hair and makeup. But we all have this whole, it's like what do you call it? An iceberg, right?
Mhm.
What you do is the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
At the
You only
bottom is
see
these,
like 10% of it, but
yeah,
really there's so
yeah.
much more.
And it bugs me that a lot of our industry is that way. So that's one thing that
Oh,
I'm trying to
absolutely.
change, right, with all of this. So let's talk a little bit about, we became friends and had such a great time, such a great bond in Italy. And then we stayed friends, and then we started talking about, um, how your business was
Yeah.
going. So tell us a little bit about hair and makeup and how your business was before we started working together in the coaching, and what were you facing challenge wise, or, seasonality, feast and famine, all of that kind of stuff that goes through everyone's head.
Okay. So my business kind of like everybody kind of took a break. Everything kind of slowed
Yep.
down over COVID, like
Yep.
everybody did.
Hmm.
Everybody kind of like hit like this just down time, but like my time got extended by a lot because of health problems within the family. So
Hmm.
once all of those health problems like really became non-health problems anymore and
Hmm.
everybody's good now, like I really wanted to put all my focus back into my business. And
Hmm.
because I'd taken so much time off and like I really hadn't put so much work into my business.
Right.
And so there were lots of different areas that I was just struggling with overall. Like I had systems in place, but I didn't feel like they translated well and they weren't easy to follow on my side because I do all of my admin myself.
Hmm.
And so like all these things like made my time that I put in my business so much more. It took longer. It was a bigger process. It was more stressful. And so when I really started talking to you about everything, like I was like, I really want to hit the ground running. Like I really want to like put all my effort into this, but like there's so many things to do. I don't even know where to start.
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
overwhelmed with the process. How do I build this? How do I get my name out there? How do my inquiries and my bookings, how does that percentage rate go up? How
Hmm.
can I book these people? Where can I, what do we talk about? Like, how do I make me stand out from everyone else? Because there's a
Right.
million makeup artists out there. Like,
Right.
we're so saturated. Like, how do I do that? How does that
Yeah.
translate? And how do I make everything easier on myself more than anything? Because I do it all myself.
Yeah.
And so that's where I was. So then we were talking about all this, and you were saying that, like, and I know that you mentioned it prior, right? But it wasn't really like correlating in my brain that this would help me until like we had a conversation. I was like, hmm, that's something that could help me because sometimes people just need a push and they just need like a little bit of guidance and a little
Yeah.
bit of structure, and then they'll be able to hit the ground running and do everything they need to do. Because most
Yeah.
of us, we just don't know the little steps that we needed to do to greatly improve our business and our life within that
Mhm.
business. If that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. And I think too, sometimes it's either a lack of confidence, like, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know where to start. You get overwhelmed. So people that are overwhelmed or perfectionists, right? Like, who
Like
falls
if
on
it's not done perfect, then
and they don't do anything. I think I've done that before a few times in my life.
maybe,
Um,
maybe just a little bit.
but yeah, it's like something that is holding us back from the greatness. And I was like, I can't shut up about this anymore. I remember you showing me, oh, you've got to see this bride, and you were showing me her, and she's like, oh, and then the groom got sunburnt, and I was like, do you understand the power of what you do? Like, what? This is a no-brainer.
That
You
sunburn was pretty intense. That
Yeah.
was shocking for sure.
Yeah. So I'm like, and so I think just for you seeing when I was showing you, I'm like, okay, this is what you need to be talking about. This is how you market yourself. It's just this innate, it's not what you do, it's who you are, right?
Mhm.
So
Exactly.
yeah, so and it was, we were it was just a weird time too. I mean, this was 2 years ago, and then we started working about a year ago, a little
Yep.
bit less than that. So, we had come out of COVID and like you said, but then we got into this crazy, uh, what do you call it? Like,
Like
the
a funk.
boom, right? No, the boom. And I remember you're also working with other hair and makeup people. Like, I remember you talking about how
I help,
we
yeah,
all share each other and, help each
and
other
I
out.
was like, "I wanna book more me,
Yeah,
more my business." Like, I love helping other people, and I'll gladly fill in and help other artists, but at the same time, like, I want my business to be that
yeah,
busy.
yeah. And I think there's people, I've talked to a lot of people and coached a lot of people who maybe have a 9 to 5 or, are fearful to step out of what if I don't have that steady income, which I think also for you, it's like,
Yeah,
I know I can do this, but I also, when we're comfortable and we have something that's reliable, it's hard to step out, right?
exactly. It's
Yeah.
really hard. It's scary,
Yeah.
understandably, but at some point, you just gotta take a leap of faith and
Yeah.
just put all that effort in that area and then see it explode from there once you put in all that effort.
Yeah. Yeah. So then let's talk about, how do you think that, so we decided to work together, I made you
Mhm.
an offer you couldn't refuse.
Couldn't.
And then
No way. No
I
way,
see
shape, or form.
because because I'm Italian. So hopefully, right, the whole point is that you're overcoming those challenges that you were
Mhm.
having. So how do you feel that you overcame some of those challenges, or what showed up for you, or what strategies were effective, for you to reach your goals?
Right I wanna say right off the bat with, like, what you helped me with in general, I wanna say that I changed my inquiry form immediately.
Mhm.
That was, like, one of the first few things, along with, like, emails, automations, and all of that was greatly helpful. Like, it
Mhm.
really, like, streamlined a lot of things, but I think the thing that really changed it for me was my new inquiry phone call, FaceTime, Zoom that I now require or ask all
Right.
my brides to do with me with every new inquiry.
Yeah.
And so we sit down and we have either FaceTime, phone, Zoom, and I have a system of questions that I've worked through with you that you helped me come up with.
Mhm.
Like it's like just a list of like great questions to ask
Yeah.
and like really delve deep and to figure out like them in, in general.
Yeah.
But because I was like delving deeper into each client and taking the time to do these phone calls, I was able to like really figure out what they needed
Yeah.
and making that connection with them turned around my what's the word I'm looking for? My like percentage of booking. What is that?
Your conversion rate went
Thank
up.
you. Conversion rate. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Your
My
conversion rate went up a lot.
like by a lot. It was like
Yeah.
150, 200%
Yeah.
immediately. Like
Yeah.
it was so drastic that I was like, "Ooh," it was shocking.
So you're saying by tweaking 3 or 4 things, because you had systems, you had
We
things,
had
but really
systems in place.
changing the language and learning how to market yourself, really, that's really
Exactly.
all we did, that
Yes.
we tweaked that is really what changed your conversion rate, is the
Yes.
understanding of how to present yourself as the
Yes.
authority, right?
Yes.
'Cause you are the authority. I saw that in Italy, right? I'm like, "She is the boss beauty babe," and then
You're the
now
best.
you're
I love
well,
you.
I don't lie. I can't. I'm
You
Italian.
don't, but
Um,
I
and
appreciate it
and
anyway.
now you can say that still comfortably without boasting too much, but in
Yep.
such a way that it feels authentically you,
Yes.
and that it helps show people you are the boss. You are the beauty boss babe.
I know what I'm talking about.
Yes, you do.
I know what I'm talking about. I've
It's
been doing it for long enough. And it was just a matter of like getting other people to see that and to be able to, like you said, market that. And like I've been doing this for 15 years. I've seen
yeah,
everything. I
yeah,
can handle anything.
Yeah.
And that just wasn't coming across.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
now it's much different
Oh,
by
so
a lot.
sad. And let me ask you, like, why was it important for you to fix it? Like, what switched for you when you said in your business, I gotta take that step?
Well,
Other
mainly,
than me other than me bugging you about it.
other than Zoe just like, what are you doing? What's happening? Honestly, it was like, I love this job. Truly, like, I love making people happy. I'm a people pleaser, and it really does like make me happy to do what I do. But like the main thing was that I love travel more
Yeah.
than anything in this whole world. We've talked about this a million times.
It's one of the
And that
first things you told me. So yes, go.
it is. It is. And so that was like always a dream. That was like a pipe dream. Like this probably will never happen, like, but that would be amazing if I could get booked for destination weddings. And when we went to Italy, that's what sparked it initially. Like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe it could. So then all as the year went past, I'm still like sitting there like, why aren't I doing this? Why aren't I doing this? And so like it just became like that was the goal. Like I want to grow. I want to become the authority in this. And that people will pick me and choose me to fly to them because I'm that of much of a like they know that everything's going to work out amazing. They know that I will be there and fix whatever happens.
Yeah.
And so like having that goal in the forefront of my brain was like if I want to do that, then I have to make this leap.
Yeah.
And this is my goal. And this is what's happening and that's why this is what we do. This is why we do this.
And, as you were talking, I love that analogy so much, and we'll get into the whole international thing, but I love that because as you were talking, the visual I had is that even if people watching, you don't need to be changing your business and go international. That's not what we're saying.
No,
But when you want to change your business, when you want to change your life or have a transformation in something, it is a whole new world. It is
it is.
barriers to break. It is getting out of your comfort zone. So it's such a great analogy that you brought in, that a whole new world. That's the song that came to mind when you were talking. So I love that. So if someone's just ready, it's like, I'm sick and tired of doing what I'm doing. I'm ready for something new.
I'm ready for this dream that I've
Yeah.
always wanted that I never thought like was a possibility. And
Yeah.
really, like we've talked about a million times, it's a matter of like changing your thought process.
Yeah.
And like don't sit here and say if, say when.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times you told me that.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times. A million. But truly, it's like gotten amazing. Oh, hold on one second. Oh, I got distracted. And like it just made such a difference in my
Yeah.
life and like being able to like make that jump in my business and like really see it move on top of it afterwards because that was like the biggest thing. Like I know that a lot of people like that's a big leap. I don't know. Should I not do something like this? But it works. It worked. And like I like my whole process has gotten so much easier and I don't know, like the whole thing just made everything a reality.
And so let's talk about that, because I remember having a conversation with you early on in the coaching, because I do this with all my clients, or even before coaching. It's like, what is your dream? What is your number one goal? Do you remember that conversation?
Yep.
What is it?
And it was like something like, like, oh, I want to, make more money. Like I want to do this. And you're like, no, 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 no.
I
Like
want the big juicy goal. Big juicy goal.
the big one. And I was like, I want to get booked weddings all over the world. Like,
Specifically, yeah.
and like, so like my specific, like, you're like, pick one, just one. And I was like, God, I've always wanted to go to Greece.
Yeah.
Oh, like that's on my bucket list of bucket list places. And like, so we sat there and like did visualization. And they're like, we're sitting here, Santorini, overlooking the ocean, and like sitting there just like, yes, that's the dream. So now like
Yeah.
my new dream is to book one wedding a month somewhere
Yeah.
all over the world.
Yep. 100%. And I know you can do it. And I have to tell you again, no coincidence here. I went to AAA Travel last Friday to help my friend's dad, Henry. I'm sure you remember him.
Mhm.
He wants to book a trip to Greece. And so then we're sitting there trying to decide this whole thing for like 30 minutes. And then I'm looking and I was like, what is that flyer? And it's a cruise in Greece. I'm going to share it with you because the
Yes.
second person gets 60% off. So we may be
Ooh,
going to Greece. Yeah. Anyway, besides that, because
done.
yeah, that's done international. So yeah, so it's about getting clarity on what you want and not what you think you want, but really that big juicy dream. So did it sound crazy or did you think it was going to work? Like at the time when we were talking about it, what do you think
I
versus
think
now?
that in my brain, it was like, yeah, sure. Like maybe that could happen.
Yeah,
Maybe. That's a pipe dream though. That, mm. But like as the process started going through,
yeah,
that's when it changed into like, oh, that's real life.
yeah,
Like that's working. This
yeah.
could happen. I could do this. And it's happening.
It
Like
is
it
happening.
like it did. It started out as like, okay, so he's really positive. I don't know. Like
Yeah,
she's just maybe she's just super positive and like this is just the way things are and like it probably won't happen. And then it turned into like, oh, no, really. Like this is real life. Visualization, planning, and like making this like actually in front of your face and making it a goal that you look at every single day of your life really does change what you put out in the universe, you get back.
yeah.
And
100.
that's all I've been doing. And it
So tell us, bring us up to speed. What's the news? What are you
and
doing
guess
in
where
a
I'm going
month?
next month? Next month I'm going to the UK. Like what?
Yeah,
Like less than a year later.
yep.
Less than of all this planning, all this back and forth. And this girl's going to London.
I'm so excited for
I
you.
know.
And I think too, I just was thinking about how it's like, don't worry about the how. And that's where people often get stuck. It's worrying about the how. And even those first conversations with you, everyone is, don't worry about the how. Just keep the big, juicy
Yes.
dream because it's a how that holds us back. So,
Always. Always.
and it
How is
happened.
that gonna
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah.
How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna no,
Right.
'cause that's the dream. You
Yeah.
just gotta look at that and
Yeah.
then go back from there. Okay, then who do I talk to?
Yeah.
How do I get there? Who are the
Yeah.
people I need to meet?
Yeah.
Who? How like when?
Yeah.
It's gonna happen if
Yeah.
you just imagine it.
Yeah. Because, I have a coach too, and she tells me all the time, she goes, Zoe, worrying is just like dreaming. It
Yeah.
takes the same amount of energy. You're going to get whatever that outcome is. So, which would you rather have? The worry outcome or the dream outcome?
Yes,
So, ultimately,
I agree with that by a 1,000,000% for sure.
so yeah, that's super, super exciting. So, you're going to let us know what happens next month after your trip to the UK.
Yep.
And I thank you so much for, I adore you, but really for
Same.
helping share with people who are on the fence or, they think they need coaching, they don't know that they need coaching, whatever those things
I
are.
understand. I understand those thoughts. I think everybody gets there, but if you even have the question of should I, you probably should. Just because it will help in an area that you didn't even realize you needed help in.
Yeah.
It can help so many different little areas that even I didn't realize that I needed help in.
So, what do you think would be your big takeaways for anyone who's watching, whether they're on the fence about leveling up or they're wanting to understand? What would you say?
I would say if you're on the fence, that you've already sat here and thought about it in the
Mm,
first place. Like you've already sat there and been like, could I do this on my own? You probably can. Probably. But the fact is that there's like a system in place that we already know works and we've seen it in everyone. And if you're willing to put in the effort and the time, it will work for you too.
yeah.
But if you've been thinking about it and you need just that push, and in this industry, there's like, you have to spend money to make money, number one. And I think that like taking help and advice from anyone outside of your business to give you a new perspective on anything is always going to be helpful.
Mhm.
And on top of that, it's just a matter of sometimes having somebody else calling you going, "Hey, did you do that thing?
Mm.
Did you do that?" And you go, "Oh no, I didn't." Or I was so busy. It's like, well, this is your business. Maybe sometimes people just need that extra little push. So if you're one of those people, it's often more helpful than not to take that leap of faith and have somebody help you with your business.
Yeah,
Doesn't mean,
reconnecting.
yeah, it doesn't mean that you can't do it on your own or that, you're bad at it. It just means like sometimes we just need that outside perspective and
Yeah.
new systems to just help everything by a lot.
And reconnecting to that dream, right? Because then again,
Amen.
yeah.
Because we get so bogged down in like I got to make money, I got to do this, I got to do that, that we don't sit there and focus on the big picture, the
Yeah.
end result.
Yeah. The big juicy outcome.
Yeah, because then it's just not even fun anymore either.
Mm.
Like this job that we love isn't fun anymore. Like there's no excitement for anything and want to expand and get bigger and try new things.
I guess you could say that Felicia puts the F in fun.
Yes, you do. By a
Oh.
lot. It is a fun time.
Felicia
Always.
time, fun time. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to ask you, we'll put this on the Facebook page. It's recording live there. We're going to put the link to your information down below. So if anyone has any questions or referrals or anything you guys want to know, please, please, please hit
Absolutely.
either one of us up. I'll
Yep.
definitely put that link to Wedding Chicks because again, there is no coincidence that
Nope.
that started with us and here we are today. Unplanned. It totally happened. You're going
Yep.
international. We can't wait to
Yep.
hear about it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.